Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Sports Timeout. I'm Anthony Polidano, and in today's show, we're looking at local teams' participation in the 2010 baseball playoffs. But first up on the show, the coaching carousel is spinning pretty hard this offseason, and a couple of local coaches are stepping down. Utica softball coach Anthony Adamo is calling it quits after 7 years coaching the Chieftains. Adamo finished his career with Utica with 112 wins, 100 losses in 7 seasons. He won 20 games this past year and a career best 22 in 2008. His Chieftains won the district title in 2006. Stacy Rogers has also resigned from her coaching gig as she steps down from coaching the Henry Ford II girls soccer team after getting transferred out of state for her day job. Rogers went 25-24-8 in her 3 seasons at Ford. We move on now to the 2010 boys baseball districts. We start out with the Stevenson Titans facing off against L'Anse Creuse.
Starting pitching a problem for Stevenson much of the year until Jason Fracassa stepped into a starting role late in the season, and he took the Titans into the playoffs as he became their ace. Top of the second, Titans already up 2-0 off of a Mike Catula 2-run jack. David Pizzolo on the hill to Justin Zivon, and Zivon laces this 2-run double down the right field line. Connor Harvey and Steve Minato come in to score, and the Titans had a 4-0 lead. Next batter up, top of the order, Matt Papayas, and Papayas, very good bowler, rolls this one down the line and left. Zivon comes in to score, 5-0 Stevenson in the second, a 5-run second inning for the Titans. Nathan Rodriguez now with a double of his own. That drives in Papayas, and Stevenson with a commanding 7-0 lead heading into the bottom of the second inning. L'Anse Creuse gets one back in the bottom of the second. Jake Vaughter here off of Fracassa, who was up 7-0, just trying to throw strikes, and he threw a strike here to Vaughter. He cranks it out deep to left center field. Solo shot puts the Lancers on the board, 7-1. Then Fracassa settling down after that. So he strikes out Josh Batkins here, swinging, and then gets George Klinghale later on in the third inning. He goes down swinging as well. Good defense here from his battery mate Dylan Cooper as Eric Winega was trying to steal, and Cooper guns him at second, keeping it a 7-1 Stevenson lead. Top of the fourth now. Fracassa at the plate trying to help his own cause, and he does. Hit nearly 500 on the season. RBI double up the alley in left center. 8-1 Titans at that point. Then later in the inning, Mike Catula up at the plate and doing some more damage. He rips this single up the middle. Titans with a commanding 9-1 lead, but then things start to change a little bit for Stevenson as Fracassa had a hard time finding the strike zone in the fourth. I think he felt he was getting squeezed a little bit. Bases loaded with Lancers for Josh Batkins, and Batkins reaches out and pokes this single into left field to come in to score, and the Lancers were down just 6 at 9-3. L'Anse Creuse would reload the bases later in the inning, score a couple more times, and then Matt Stales here at the plate for the Lancers, and Fracassa is starting to struggle. That one didn't miss by much. Walks in a run, 9-6. L'Anse Creuse by striking out Derek Frankie there to keep it a 9-6 Titan lead. Top of the fifth now. Frankie now on the hill, pitching for the Lancers. Zivon at the plate. Zivon just comes up clutch in the postseason. He's an excellent hitter at the bottom of that Stevenson order and comes up when the Titans need it as Minato comes in to score. 10-6. Joe Emanuel's team up. Bottom of the sixth now. Jeremy Walk in in relief, and Pozzolo with a shot here to Rodriguez, misses the runner at first, and then they say Catula off of the bag, so they would credit Pozzolo with the single. That would bring in another run and cut the lead back down to 3, 10-7. Now 2 on for the Lancers. Big out here. Vaughter at the plate, pop up in foul territory. Look at Catula with a clutch grab as he hangs on, running into the fence. Nice play by the first baseman, keeping it a 10-7 ball game. Walk then closing things out for the Titans here in the 7th as he gets Brian Keys swinging, and the Titans literally hang on for a 10-7 victory. They were leading 9-1 at one point and hold on to win by 3. Catula 2 for 4 with 3 driven in that home run. Fracassa 2 for 3, was on base 3 times in the win. Then Stevenson facing their old rivals, Henry Ford II. Pick up the action. Second inning, Ryan Lavoie at the plate having his struggles here. Mike Taylor goes right back up the middle. Bases loaded later in the inning, with the Falcons already up 3-0 as they were attacking Lavoie early. He gets pulled for Jeremy Walk, who comes in, and Walk uncorks a wild one to Eric Posovitz, to Terry Gissendaner. Posovitz comes in to score. 4-0 Ford up. Then Gissendaner helps clear the bases himself as he drives in another one with this RBI single to left. That scores Pat Delling a commanding 5-0 Ford lead in that second inning. Gissendaner on third, James Knox on second later in the inning. It could have been much worse, but Taylor here bounces out to end the inning. So the Titans, I don't want to say they minimized the damage, but could have been much worse. Top of the third now, Jason Fracassa, guess who, back on in relief. Mac Forsythe, little grounder down the third. Nice play by Connor Harvey, and then Mike Catula gets Marcus Vanderpool trying to get over to third base. Double play for the Titans, an unorthodox one, as Ford allows an opportunity to go by the wayside. Bottom of the third, Adam Doan on the hill, and Steve Minato loads up and takes him deep. Solo shot puts Stevenson on the board, 5-1. Top of the fourth now, Ford looking to extend that lead, still up by 4 at this point. Pat Delling with the bunt. It looked like the runner going down to second base was safe. Derek Ganfield goes out to argue, and indeed it was a pretty bad call as we take a look at it again. Rodriguez off of the bag, so Ford sees another opportunity go by the wayside as Fracassa strikes out Gissendaner. Stevenson hanging in there, still down 5-1. Bottom of the fourth now. That Titan offense just kept coming. Bases loaded against Doan. And Harvey, little grounder down to first. Taylor bobbles it and winds up getting nobody. Run scores on the error as Fracassa comes in. It is now 5-2. Then Dylan Cooper later in the inning. Hot shot over there. More adventures down towards first base. Knox winds up beating Cooper to the bag to get the force play, but the Titans get another run across it. It is 5-3 until Minato. Again, the bottom of that Titan order, just outstanding. 2-run double down the left field line. Brown and Harvey come in to score, and Stevenson comes all the way back to tie it up at 5 apiece. Couple batters later, Matt Papayas at the plate. Doan still on the hill, and Papayas with the single up the middle. It scores Rodriguez, and Stevenson takes a 6-5 lead. Joe Emanuel pretty fired up that his team was back on top. Bottom of the fifth now, Mac Forsythe on the hill, and Dylan Cooper with the pretty swing goes to right field with that one. 2 runs come in to score, and the Titans grab an 8-5 lead. 8 unanswered Stevenson runs. Make it 10 unanswered Stevenson runs. Zyvon continuing his hot hitting. He goes opposite field all the way to the wall. Another run comes in. 10-5, Stevenson up, and Fracassa, as we said, on in relief and providing lots of it. Well, unless you're a Falcon fan. Taylor goes down swinging. Then Posovitz, take a seat. Pat Delling, have a nice summer as he goes sidearm to catch him looking on that one. And then James Knox here. He's going to go down swinging as well as Fracassa settles things down, and the Titans go on to win 11-5. Minato 2 for 2, perfect day with the homer and 4 RBI. Fracassa struck out 5 in relief, 5 innings of relief to get the win. He also went 2 for 4 with a run scored.
Now, the Stallions have had a rough go of it in recent years as Coach Bobby Lindsey's team was coming off of their 6th straight losing regular season. But the down on their luck Stallions were game for an upset and were very much up for the challenge as they moved up in competition to face off against the Mac Reds, Big Reds of Chippewa Valley.
Pick up the action almost halfway through the game. Bottom of the 5th. Bases loaded here against Bobby Lindsey's team. They were up 1-0 at the time. John Capobianco on the hill and in trouble. Scott Kunnert at the plate, and Kunnert hits a little flare up the middle back a shortstop. It actually touches down in the outfield. They would wind up getting a force out at third base, but Mike Martin comes in to score on the play. We're tied at 1. Then Bowman here. Billy Bowman with a shot down to short. Nice play by Jason Visotsky to get Sterling Heights out of the inning. Still tied at 1. Then Visotsky on third in the top of the 6th. Dan Belanger on the hill. Capobianco tried to bunt him home on the suicide squeeze. He pops up into a double play. We remain tied at 1 as we would be for quite a while. Top of the 7th now. Bottom of the 6th. Capobianco strikes out Anthony Iatona. 1-1 through 6. Now top of the 7th. Amindi Gruel at the plate for Sterling Heights. And Gruel hits the base hit into left field. Stallions would watch Belanger check out. Matt Clan comes in relief. Stallions would get a runner over to third against the Big Reds. And David Palmaville would be up in a big situation for Sterling Heights. But Clan gets him swinging on the check swing out of the strike zone. Clan gets out of the jam. Top of the 8th now. Clan settles in and starts to mow down the Stallions. Lee Lazarecki, sit down. Then Jeff Kazumplik. He's going to be unable to catch up with this Clan fastball. High, swings through it. We were tied 1-1 to the bottom of the 8th. Mark Zomanski now at the plate for the Big Reds. David Palmaville in center, and a great play by the Stallion senior, keeping it a 1-1 game as he helps out Capobianco. Then Clan continuing to mow down hitters, striking out Ryan Veith. Bobby Lindsey's team, well, hanging in there. Capobianco striking out Tim Murphy here in the bottom of the 9th, stranding runners at 2nd and 3rd. An incredible effort by Capobianco. Top of the 10th now we go. Clan gets Palmaville looking. Palmaville disagrees with that. Michael Hoylock now for Sterling Heights, stealing 2nd and getting into scoring position, but Clan again able to buckle down. And he gets Jason Visotsky looking. How about the strikeout by the ump call? He was as into this game as the fans were. Still tied at 1. Bottom of the 10th now. Capobianco gets a ground out, and Capobianco goes 10 innings for Sterling Heights, giving up just the 1 run. An incredible individual effort. But the Stallions hadn't won the game because they couldn't solve the Big Reds pitchers. Bottom of the 11th now. Winning run on third. Veith on in relief. And Veith gets Murphy to ground out into the 4th place. So we would go to the 12th inning. And Bobby Lindsey said he wasn't going to be able to take much more of this. 12th inning now. Bases loaded. Winning run on third for the Big Reds. Alex Dar at the plate off of Veith. And Dar is going to wind up being the hero here for the Big Reds as he rips one down the left field line, past the diving outfielder. Run comes in to score, and Chippewa Valley outlasts, and I mean outlasts, Sterling Heights 2-1 in 12 innings. Clan struck out 9 and 5 and a third. Belanger 7 strikeouts and 6 2/3. Capobianco a 2-hitter over 10 innings, no earned runs and 9 strikeouts. Tough loss for Sterling Heights.
Time for a break here on Sports Timeout. When we come back, Stevenson takes aim at a district title. Stay tuned.
I don't feel old. I don't feel old.
I don't feel old at all.
Don't feel old, feel active at the new Senior Active Life Center located on Utica Road near Dodge Park.
Migrating flocks of songbirds have been reduced by half. You can go online to arborday.org to learn more about rainforest rescue and to find out which trees to plant where you live, so our songbirds have a home in the summer and the winter too.
Sterling Heights has 3 drop-off recycling centers. One at the Department of Public Works on 18 Mile, a second on 15 Mile near Baumgardner Park, and a third on Clinton River Road across from Gainsley Drive. Just recycle it.
And welcome back to Sports Timeout, everyone, where we're checking out local teams' participation in the 2010 baseball playoffs. When Joe Emanuel took over the Stevenson Titans back in 1998, the Titans hadn't won a district title, hard to believe, since 1973. Well, Emanuel has turned that program into a perennial powerhouse and a winner, as Stevenson was gunning for their 7th district title in the Emanuel era and 3rd straight as they took on the Big Reds in the finals.
Stevenson beat the Big Reds in the district final 1 year earlier, and guess who was on the hill again for the Titans? Mr. Rubber Arm, Jason Fracassa striking out Billy Bowman here in the top of the first, and then Tyler Freese, well, he's going to go down swinging as well. 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Fracassa, but it wasn't without its scary moments for Stevenson. Mark Zilmansky on third. Fracassa's pitch gets away from Dylan Cooper. Zilmansky comes home, but Fracassa alert beats him to the plate and gets the tag down to get out of the inning with a goose egg on the board. Joe Emanuel's team loads up the bases in the bottom of the third now. Fracassa at the plate, and Jason Fracassa, just another part of his game, cool under pressure. Some players would get anxious in this situation, but he draws the bases loaded walk off of Alex Dar, and that's how the Titans get on the board first, making it a 1-0 ball game. Later on in the inning, David Brown at the plate off of Dar. Brown going to hit a shallow fly ball to right field. Tim Murphy lines himself up out there, and he's got the runner gunned at the plate, but the ball takes a crazy hop over the catcher, and Nathan Rodriguez comes in to score. Titans take advantage of the lucky break, up 3-0. Then Fracassa gets Tyler Freese swinging here, and then he gets a little help from his defense. Justin Zivon, who had an outstanding district. Great diving grab there in center field, robbing Tom Herzog of a hit. Then Fracassa strikes out Frank Fahey in the 5th. 5 shutout innings for the Titan senior before he had to check out due to an innings limit and that rubber arm. David Brown now in the bottom of the 5th providing some more insurance as he goes opposite field. That brings in a run. 4-0 Titans at that point. Dominic Ivkov on pitching for the Big Reds in relief. 2 on for Dylan Cooper, and Cooper had a pretty productive postseason as well as he goes opposite field down the line. Brown comes in to score along with another run. Mike Catula, 6-0 Stevenson at that point. Nathan Rodriguez on in relief for Stevenson, and the bullpen been a strength for them as of late. Strikes out Murphy there looking, and then gets Anthony Iatona here. So he goes down swinging. Titans do it with relief pitching and big thumpers in the bottom of the order like Steve Minato. 1 home run already in the districts. Here's his second solo shot to left center field. Titans up 7-1 at that point. They go on to cruise to the district title, beating the Big Reds by the final of 11-1. Dylan Cooper, perfect, 3 for 3 and 4 RBI at the plate. Rodriguez also perfect, 3 for 3 and a couple runs scored as the Titans are district champs.
And another note on Titan star Jason Fracassa. Not only was he our first area athlete to be credited with a pitching victory in all 3 of Stevenson's district games, rubber arm for sure, but he was also our first local player to be named to 2 high school all-star games over the summer, as he participated in the baseball all-star game down at Comerica Park, getting a hit and driving in a run in an Eastside victory. He also played in the All-Star football game, and go figure, he rallied the Eastside from a 16-0 halftime deficit, throwing 2 touchdowns in the second half and leading the Eastsiders on a game-winning drive, capping off a 20-16 come-from-behind Eastside win. You didn't think his prep career was going to end any other way, did you? But Fracassa also makes the all-county first-team list. Big shock there. Here's a look at him and the rest of the local players to make all-county honors.
Jason Fracassa hit 2 home runs, drove in 26 runs batted in, and hit .490 this year. Stole 22 bases, scored 40 runs, and had 13 doubles offensively. On the mound, he went 6-2 with 36 strikeouts and 38 innings with an ERA of 1.50. He was 3-0 in the districts, winning all 3 district games for the Titans. He's joined on the first team by fellow Titan Mike Catula, smacked 9 home runs and drove in 43 runs this year, hitting .396 for Stevenson. Also joining them on the first team, leadoff man and speedster Matt Papayas, 2 home runs, 11 RBI, a .411 average, and 19 steals for the Titan senior. Joining them on the first team, a pair of Marauders, their power-hitting outfielder, Ben Philemon. 6 home runs, 29 RBI, a .402 average. He walked 24 times and struck out just 12 times for the Marauders. He's joined by his teammate, Lucas Ross. The sophomore was excellent this season for Warren Mott, leading them to 20 wins. He was 6-4 with a .174 earned run average, giving up just 45 hits in 60 innings, striking out 78. Second teamers include Mott backstop Alex Kanaya, 1 home run, 35 RBI, and a robust .466 average with 29 runs. He also had 14 steals and threw out 19 of 38 runners attempting to steal this past year. Scott Taylor of Ford makes second team All-County, 5 home runs, 29 RBI, and a .333 average for the Falcon first baseman. Dylan Corbett of Warren Mott makes a second team, 3 homers, 19 RBI, and a .386 average to go with 15 stolen bases for the Mott senior. Stallions represented on the second team by Jason Fisotsky. No home runs, 16 RBI, .379 average, and 14 steals. And the utility second teamer is fellow Stallion John Capobianco. No homers, 28 RBI, and a .379 average. Was just 4-8 on the hill, but a .321 ERA. Struck out 69 in 72 innings of work, and he had a fabulous 10-inning start in the playoffs, giving up no earned runs in that contest. Honorable mention goes to Alex Peters of Henry Ford II, outfielder Dave Brown of Stevenson, and Falcon pitcher Adam Doan, 3-3 with a 3.94 ERA this past year.
And speaking of important lists, on our next episode of Sports Timeout, Kevin Lozon and I will be discussing our Spring Sports Player of the Year award winners and more. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.